Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 65 of the Speared Sundays podcast. And yes, this time I got it right. It actually is episode 65. And your boy is back, all right? We're back on Sundays. I'm not going to be missing another fucking episode. I'm telling you, we're back on the Sundays. We're back on the Patreon people getting episodes early. So if you're a Patreon listener, a supporter, you're listening to this on Saturday night, everybody else is getting it on Sunday. And if you're listening on YouTube and you're complaining about me not putting it out on Sunday, fuck you. You're listening on YouTube, you get a second-rate experience, all right? I don't know why the fuck you're listening to a podcast on YouTube. Oh, but it's easy to put it on in the background while I do other things. Dude, that's what a podcast is. Do it on fucking iTunes. If you're on Android, use fucking Podcast Addict. YouTube is not easy to upload podcasts on. The reason why it's always late on YouTube is because when I upload the audio version and that goes out to iTunes, then I have to get Omni, which is the host that I use, I have to get them to generate a video, right? So that the animation that you're watching on YouTube, I don't make that. That's generated by the website I use. And that, if my podcast is an hour, that usually takes about 4 hours for them to generate it. And then I got to download it, and then I got to upload an hour-long video file to YouTube. So that's why the podcast is never up on Sundays on YouTube. So if you want it on Sundays, subscribe on iTunes or use Podcast Addict if you're on Android. That will let you subscribe to the podcast normally. That's something I've been meaning to tell people actually for a long time. If you're an Android listener, download an app called Podcast Addict. It's free and it just lets you subscribe to iTunes podcasts. And I don't have to do any more fucking work. And you can listen to everything else that you normally listen to on Podcast Addict as well. Like, I don't have to upload myself on there. Apparently, I'm just there. I don't know. I don't have an Android phone. I don't know anything about it. What I wanted to talk about today is I almost killed an infant. I'm not even kidding. I almost killed a young child, like under one. Like a I don't even know I'm a human yet kind of infant, like that young. I was in a camera store, right? I was in Ted's Cameras, looking at all the fucking camera gear. The way the shop's laid out, it's like a square, right? And it's got just windows all around the walls with all the camera gear in it. So I'm walking around the walls, looking at all the camera gear, because I've been looking for something that I can use to film my stand-up sets, so if I ever do some crowd work, I can put it at the end of my YouTube videos, right? So I'm looking for a nice little handy cam I could buy. I'm looking through the windows. I'm just making my way through the store, looking at all the products. I'm not looking where I'm walking because why would anything be on the floor? Also, I'm so tall that my feet are so far out of my peripheral vision, they might as well be in another fucking universe. There's fat cunts that can't see their feet, and then there's long cunts who need binoculars to look down and see their toes in high resolution, right? I'm just, from like below my waist, I don't know what's going on, right? I can be getting a blowjob, I wouldn't be able to see it, okay? Anyway, so I'm walking through the outside of this shop, looking in the windows, and I kick something. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I kicked something soft, like a beanbag. And I looked down, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And it's a fucking baby on the floor. Like, I kicked this fucking infant. And the parents were looking away, and this kid just starts going, Wah! Like, I kicked this fucking infant, and I step back really quickly, right? And then the parents turn around, they just think, oh, it's just crying because it's a baby, and that's what babies do. Surely this nice young gentleman didn't just fucking kick my baby in the head like it was a football, right? And then I'm thinking, holy fuck, I kicked a baby in the head. Oh my God, is it brain damage? Fuck, did I ruin it? Is it broken? But I eventually came to the realization that it can't speak yet, and it's like under 1 year old. So even if it is retarded, they're not going to find out for like 3 years, and I'm pretty sure I'll be sweet by then. You know what I mean? Like, Ted's Cameras have probably deleted their security camera footage 3 years from now. I'm in the clear. I don't know, maybe they could claim that shit on warranty. I don't really know, okay? So anyway, I kicked this fucking infant in the head, and then I'm just shocked. I'm like, why the fuck is there a baby on the floor? Why is there an infant on the fucking floor? Who takes their kid into a shop and just puts it on the fucking floor? Like, really, you're expecting that thing to get kicked. Like, maybe the dad was a bit sick of his kid and he's like, you know what? Maybe if I just leave it on the floor, some kind stranger will step on his neck. Dude, they're lucky I didn't do that. They're lucky that I was walking really slowly. So I just kind of nudged it and then it started crying. But if I was in a hurry, I would have I would have killed the fucking kid, right? And then I would have had to deal with... How would I even explain that to the police? Right? I don't know. So let's say I step on this kid, right? It's fucking dead. So I've killed it. And then the parents are just devastated. Oh my God, how could you do this? What am I supposed to say? Oh, look, you really shouldn't leave things on the floor if you want to... It's like, if you want your things to be looked after, you shouldn't leave them on the floor, right? You should put them on a shelf like everybody else with a baby. Anyway, so I was like, why the fuck is this infant on the floor? I figured out, I was just shocked, and then I just pretended immediately just to start looking at cameras again, right? I'm like, I didn't kick a baby, I'm looking at cameras. And then the staff from Ted's Cameras come out, and she has a camera, and she just stands over the baby and starts taking photos of it. It was for a passport. So the fucking idiot from Ted's Cameras took these parents' infant and was like, I'll look after this. And then the first thing he thinks is, I need my camera. 1 second, I'll be back in a minute. And then instead of giving the child back to the parents, he just puts it on the floor like a fucking sim. Like he's playing fucking Sims 3 and he goes to work and just leaves his baby on the floor because the infants can't die in those video games, right? And then I'm just bewildered. Like, I almost killed this fucking thing. Nobody knows that I kicked an infant. It's time for me to get out of here. And then the photographer's really getting into their job. They're taking passport photos. The parents are looking at some other shit that they don't need. And I just left. I was like, fuck this. So, you know, in 15 years' time, if there's a little kid out there, Cody, and you're a little bit slow, and you have a problem going into Ted's Camera stores, and you don't really know why. It's just like this feeling inside you that makes you go, Ted's Camera stores are unsafe, and because you may have suffered some early trauma. I'm sorry, that was me. I kicked you in the head. Hopefully I'm famous by now, and you can sue me, and you can have a cut of whatever TV show I'm making at the moment, right? It'll be the new Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? Instead of me raping 15 girls, right? It'll be me kicking 15 infants in the head, and that'll be the big news story of the future. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, guys. Looking at cameras and kicking babies in the head. I hope you guys had a less stressful fucking week than me. Oh, but yeah, the reason why I was in Ted's Cameras, by the way, I didn't buy anything there. It's a fucking rip-off, right? And they leave babies all over the place. It's retarded. Don't go in there. I've been looking for new camera gear to get because I'm starting up a new series. I want to do political and media satire because I don't think anyone's really doing that properly in Australia. There are a couple of people in Australia doing political satire, but they're doing it like in a way where they're trying to convince you of an opinion. You know what I mean? Like they're like, this is correct. You need to vote Labor because I'm funny and I told you to. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know, telling people how to think. I don't really get around that. I just want to make fun of shit because what do I know? So I'm starting up a new series, and I just got home from the tour, and I just had, I got like this fucking a little bit of money, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy everything that I've ever thought I needed, and then I will never have to buy it again, because the worst thing is when you're doing this, like making shit online or creating whatever, is the gear. Like, you'll be like, you know what would be really good if I had a green screen just for one video and then I could do this one joke, but you don't, but that one joke isn't enough for you to spend $150 on a green screen and lights to set up, so you don't do it. But then you have that thought like 10 times and you get to the end of the year and you could have been like, fuck, it was worth it for all of those combined, but not just one instance of that. So I just decided to go all out, and I got fucking everything that I needed. I got a full frame camera, finally. I got a zoom lens so I can fit, because I needed a full frame camera because the camera that I have at the moment, it's crop sensor, so it sees less. And when I'm so tall, if I'm on screen with somebody else, it just looks fucking shit on my camera because you just can't fit us in. Either we both have to be sitting down, or it's my half of my body and just their head. So I got a full frame camera, so hopefully I can do a lot more sketches. What else did I get? I got a proper lighting setup, like a 3-point lighting setup. I got a green screen, and I got another little handy camera that I'll be filming all of my sets with, just in case crowd work happens or something, because I've thought every time crowd work happens, even though I record it on my phone, I'm like, fuck, that'd be great to put in a video. So I'm thinking that I'm having a break from performing after the tour, but once I get back into it and I start doing rooms again, I reckon I'm gonna film every single gig, and if nothing happens, I'll just delete it. But if some funny crowd work happens and it's good enough to put in a video, what I reckon I'll do is I'll just put them at the end of Lou Review or the end of the video of this new series that I'm doing, and then that way some people can see my live shit without me burning material, and it doesn't really have to be high quality. Do you know what I mean? Because clearly it's just improvised shit. But I don't know, that's my plan. And I got a whole bunch of other shit too that I can't even fucking remember. All this stuff is going to start arriving at my house. I'll be like, what the fuck is this? Oh, I really needed that. So I don't know. I was just, it was a bit of money that I spent, but it was like, I just got to this point where I was like, I know that I need all of these things, but I don't want to spend the fucking money because I work so hard to get it. But then I was like, you know what? I just need it, and if I spend it, it'll come back. I've always believed in reinvesting in your thing. You know what I mean? If your money comes in, just put it straight back into the machine, and hopefully it'll spit out twice as much. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how I've kind of run my operation, where I pay myself fuck all, and then the operation that I'm running just sucks all the money in and then spits out hopefully twice as much. And so far it's I don't know, kind of worked. I mean, I'm still poor as shit, but I can afford a fancy camera. So that's what I've done. And so hopefully that gear, I paid for express shipping on fucking everything because I have a whole bunch of videos lined up. So hopefully all my shit will arrive next week, and then I'll just spend the next 2 weeks after that learning how to use it while I drop all of my pre-filmed content. And then when it's time for me to use the new gear and start up the new series, everything will just be looking really, really good. So that's my goal. If you're wondering about what the new series is, I'm restarting Bi-Monthly Bull. So Bi-Monthly Bull was a series that I started years ago. Like, it was one of the earlier ideas I had, and it was just a political and media satire series. So basically, I would just take the most popular stories from the media and the biggest political stories, and I would just take the piss out of them, and film like real live in-person stunts. So similar to what they do on The Chasers, on The Daily Show when they go and do Vox Pops where they interview people on the street. Taking a whole bunch of inspiration from my favorite TV shows and trying to create something unique with my ideas and the best bits from stuff that I liked as well. But I realized when I started it years ago that I didn't have the gear necessary, because I was even poorer than I am now, and I didn't have the time because I still had a job, and I also didn't really have the skill to pull it off. But now I feel like I'm at a really good point where I don't have a job. I have a little bit of money to pay people thanks to Patreon, so I can pay a cameraman to come film with me for the day. Just shit like that enables me to focus on making it the best it can be without having to worry about doing every fucking job myself. So thank you very much to everyone supporting me on Patreon and who comes to the shows. That's going to help me do this, because I think that this project, I feel really, really good about it. I think it's really going to help me kind of get to the next level with what my content is and get bigger on YouTube. And I think that it's also going to be a lot more expensive and a lot more labor intensive, but I feel like I'm ready for that now at this point in my career. But I don't know, who knows? I might be fucking homeless next month. All right, what did I want to talk about this week? I have, in this break that I've had since I last spoke to you last week, I have sorted out my life. Like, just all of the life shit that I've completely and utterly neglected. Like, real life shit other than comedy. I have had the dirtiest, filthiest fucking room for the longest time. I haven't told you guys about this because I was embarrassed, but a month ago, we found mice living in my room. That's some shit that you would find on fucking hoarders. And I saw them and I was like, holy shit, my life is fucked. And then I went on tour and I ignored it for another 2 months. But I'm back now and I've cleaned the fuck out of my room. We got rid of the mice, obviously. Like when we found them, we got rid of them quick. But the room still wasn't actually very clean. So I've just spent this entire week, I've literally spent 3 days in a row cleaning fucking everything. I didn't realize how bad it was. I've been so focused on the tour and trying to stay on top of content when in the very few days that I am home that I completely just neglected my entire life. I stopped going to the gym. I stopped cleaning my room. I stopped maintaining shit. Everything that had a place was immediately just reassigned to the floor. But these past 3 days, I've just spent cleaning, and it's fucking great, man. Having a clean room is the best shit ever. Everything has its place, and it just makes me want to work in it, because I still live at home, and I've got my bedroom, and that's where I do all of my work, all of my sleeping, and all of my leisure time. It's all in the one spot. So having mess was the worst fucking thing for my head, because I just didn't want to be in the room at all. But that was where I did all my work. So I've sorted that out. I've cleaned everything, and I've just been trying to get myself ready to finish the break. So I'm setting up everything. I'm having meetings with a whole bunch of people. I've got like a video editor on board, a graphic designer, having meetings with lots of different people so that when I start this new series and when I start rolling out content and when the main videos come back on the channel, it'll just be rolling very, very smoothly. I mean, it's no fucking Philip DeFranco getting millions of dollars on Patreon, but you know what? I think that I can do it. And so miraculously, I have actually managed to maintain all of the weight that I put on before I went on tour. Haven't lost any, so I'm still 75 kilos. I did not make my goal of 80 by Melbourne. Unfortunately, I did fail that, but I'm going to get up to 80 in the next couple of months. That's the goal. I've written myself up a fucking meal plan. I'm eating 6 meals a day, which will start on Monday, and I'm starting back at gym on Monday as well, and I'm just going to fucking smash it. So, that's the plan. Operation Fill Out a Fucking T-Shirt, you skinny piece of shit, is officially in motion. Alright, let's do this shit. Alright, I want this body shaming stepped up, double time, alright? What are you doing? Leaving positive comments. Oh, well done, Lewis. We're proud of you. You finished your tour. Nah, cut that shit out, alright? Abuse me. Because you know what? Every time I read one of those comments and I wasn't doing something, I was like, fuck, they're right. I need to do something. But whenever I'm doing something and I read those comments, I'm like, you fucking wait, cunt. You wait until I fill up a t-shirt, and then we'll see who's the skinny cunt. So step up the body shaming, guys, and hopefully we can get this shit done together. Speaking of videos and political shit, Rebel Media, the guys that I hoaxed, where I pretended to be a leader of Antifa, the guy who I hoaxed was the owner of Rebel Media, right? And he actually followed me on Twitter, and he thought the whole thing was hilarious because he was like, oh, obviously he's not really taking the piss out of us. Like, yeah, he tricked us and we ran the interview by mistake, but he was ultimately taking the piss out of people from Antifa, right? So he thought it was really funny. And he followed me on Twitter, so I followed him back. And then a couple days after I put out my video, he was like, hey man, I watched the video, it was really funny. I was thinking, I want you to do your Antifa character Sam as a video that we can upload on our channel. So that's a thing that's going to happen. But now I'm worried that if I do that, everyone's going to think the hoax was fake. Because, you know, if I saw that, I'd be like, oh, okay, so they were working together from the start. But that's not how it is at all. It's just this super weird fucking turn of events where he was... Isn't it funny that the first people I hoaxed that didn't get irrationally angry about it are the fucking right-wing Trump-supporting people? You know what I mean? Like, it's like... All these other media organizations that I've hoaxed are, you know, preaching fucking the left-wing tolerance kind of ideals, but then when you fuck with them, they're like, well, we're going to fight back and ruin your life. But when you do it to the other side of the spectrum, they're just like, oh, that was pretty funny. Hey, mate, do you want to do it again? This will be funny. I don't know. I've always felt that it used to be the other way around, right? Where the right side of politics, they were the authoritarian. You can't make fun of us. You can't say this. You can't do that. We take ourselves very seriously. It was always that side of things, but it seems to have switched now, where the super left side of the politics, they're the ones who are policing language, and they're the ones that you can't make fun of or you'll lose your job because of controversies and all that kind of stuff. It's really interesting how it flips, because I think the left making fun of the right and taking the piss out of the right and fighting against the right, that was necessary, and then they won that cultural battle, but then they took it way too far, and now we're left with this situation where the left is now kind of the bosses and the people who run the culture, and they're the ones who are kind of loudly telling people what to think and what to do, and the people on the right are now the young people who are coming up and being like, well, this is fucking stupid. All this language policing and political correctness is retarded, and they're going to fight against that left thing, and in 5 years, it'll flip again, and then all of a sudden, it'll be cool to be left. So I don't know. It's just all this fucking stupid shit of people can't handle power, man. They can't just win and be like, all right, okay, so now now that the right wing isn't telling people what to do because they'll offend God or conservative values or whatever that shit is. Now that that's not going on, right? Why don't we find a healthy medium where everybody's happy? No, instead of doing that, they're like, all right, so now that we won that cultural battle, there's 37 genders, and if you don't fucking ask me what gender I am before you talk to me, well, then you're getting fired from Fox News. And it's just, I don't know. It's fucking interesting how all that shit works. And it's just because people can't handle power, they can't handle winning properly. But I don't know. Who am I to talk? I'm just some fucking dickhead with a podcast that gets irrationally angry at stuff and almost murders babies in his free fucking time. Dude, did you guys see fucking Malcolm Turnbull, our Prime Minister, meeting and hanging out with Donald Trump? Wasn't that just the most pathetic display of, whatever you say, America, we'll do whatever you want? It was just fucking such a cock-sucking move by our brilliant Prime Minister. It's like, yeah, dude, I understand that America has the biggest guns, but we don't have to suck their dick. Like, they're not going to send a nuke over if Malcolm Turnbull doesn't bend over for Trumpy. Like, fucking hell. It was just, you know what, seeing him next to Donald Trump, he didn't even look like a politician. He looked like a fucking assistant. Even his body language was, I'm in the White House. This is cool. I wonder if Donald Trump will take a photo with me. This is cool. Hey, Donald Trump, do you want to take some of our refugees like we agreed? No? Oh, okay, man. I'll just lock him in jail forever. Oh, this is cool. I'm in the White House. Awesome. And then fucking Donald Trump being the impulsive idiot that he is. I think that Trump's a smart dude, but only when he's had time to think about it. Like, in the moment, that guy is a fucking... Have you ever seen like a Jack Russell? Like those little dogs? Like they're so hyperactive and they'll just do dumb shit, but they're really smart, right? They're really intelligent dogs, but in the moment, they'll just decide to do the dumbest shit. Like, they're like, oh, I'm a fucking dog. I'm going to do this. Oh, what's that? Oh, a pair of shoes. I'm going to chew them up. And then you catch them doing it, and they completely understand what they've done. They're like, fuck, I made an error. Like, some dogs, they'll chew up your shoes, and you'll take them to the shoes, and they won't even understand why you're angry. But with a dog like that, a Jack Russell, you'll take them to the shoes, and they're like, oh my God, that was so stupid. I'm so sorry. I have no idea what I was doing. It just happened. Donald Trump reminds me of that. Like the dumb shit that he says. Like, I remember they were talking about how he's going to repeal Obamacare. And I don't pretend to know anything about Obamacare or America's health system. The only thing that I really know is that it's fucking terrible. They're like the only first world country that has that bad of a healthcare system, right? So all I know is that theirs is terrible, and whatever Donald Trump's replacing it with is probably still going to be terrible, even if it is better than Obamacare. objectively speaking, comparing it to other nations, just about any other first world nation, whatever they put in, even if it's better than Obama's, will still be basically third world, right? And Donald Trump is talking about how bad Obamacare is, and he's with Malcolm Turnbull, our Prime Minister, and he's like, oh, well, you know, fucking, even your healthcare is better than ours. Ha ha ha, isn't that ridiculous? Your healthcare is better than ours at the moment. And you can tell as soon as he says that, he realizes, I have no idea what Australia's healthcare is like. Why did I say that? He's just a fucking people pleaser in the moment, and then he'll go back to his office and remember his real opinions, and he'll be like, fuck, why did I say that, right? Because our healthcare system is quite socialist, right? Where everybody chips in and then everybody gets helped out. It's a fucking great idea. Like, I don't understand why people are like, oh, but it's going to cost me more money. It's like, yeah, it will, but if your daughter breaks her leg, you won't have to fucking mortgage your house. Everybody chips in and everybody can benefit from the system. It's not perfect, but it's almost definitely better than America's system unless you are a very, very rich person. Which in our case, if you're a very rich person, you can go and get private health insurance. You know, like you can go and pay out the ass for a hospital if you want to. Or you can use the public system, which isn't amazing, but it's better than mortgaging your house every time you get a fucking nosebleed, right? And Donald Trump's like, oh, even your healthcare is better than our healthcare. Ours sucks compares to yours. That's why we have to repeal Obamacare. And then, of course, all of the news articles are like, Donald Trump, did you realize that their healthcare is actually all of the shit that you've been talking out against? Like all of that shit that Bernie Sanders has been talking about, that's what you're fighting against, but that's also what Australia uses, you fucking dickhead. And then, in true alpha male form, right? Just only Donald Trump could really say this because everybody is so used to him saying dumb shit in the moment. The official White House statement comes out and goes, oh yeah, so Donald Trump did say that Australia's healthcare was better than ours, but he was just being nice. He was just being nice. That was like an official notice from the White House. Oh, Donald Trump was just lying to the Australian Prime Minister to be nice. Like, that's just the craziest shit. Only old mate Trump could get away with that, but, you know, good on him. It's not my fucking problem, although I do want to move there, so it might well day. In that case, if any customs officers listening to the podcast, hail Trump, he's the best ever. Although, you know what, even all of the shit that he's done, I'm still like, yeah, he's still better than the competition. He's still better than Hillary. And she's sitting there in the woods talking to her fucking Illuminati vampires, probably drinking the blood of the innocent 12-year-old virgins and doing satanic rituals in her fucking tower that was built by the medicinal company that she does $1 million talks for, right? And then she's like, fuck, if only I was the president, then they would truly see the power that has been bestowed upon me by the Holy Trinity, the Rothschilds, fucking the Illuminati, and the Joe Rogan podcast. All right, let's get into miscellaneous bit at the end, shall we? Oh, before we do that, I want to say I'm still supporting this fucking charity. Live Below the Line. So basically, Live Below the Line is a charity, and it's a fucking legit one. It's not one of those ones where you give $10 to and they use 5 cents of it to actually help people and the rest of the $9.95 to pay their employees, right? They're actual legitimate charity, and they're very open with how they spend their money. They reached out to me. There were clearly listeners of the podcast because they were referencing shit about killing themselves in the podcast from Miscellaneous Bit at the End, and I was like, oh, okay, these cunts are all right then. If they're going to have me as a public ambassador, right, the dude that says cunt in every fucking video, they must be all right. So I'm a public ambassador for Live Below the Line. Basically, they're a charity that helps educate people that are living in poverty in third world countries. So they're a great organization. If you want to learn more about them, or if you would like to donate money to that's what I didn't say when I first told you. We need you guys, if you want to support it, to send some money to Live Below the Line. Send it on my profile as well, so at least, I don't know, that they see it, that they're not wasting their fucking time with me, because I think I posted about it, Let's see how much money I've raised that I post. But live below the line, Lewis Spears. Have a Google and see how much money I've raised. Live below the line, Lewis Spears. All right, so my goal is to raise $300 for Live Below the Line. And do you know how much money we've raised? Are you ready? $4.16. Oh, the fucking children are gonna starve to death. Oh, what's that? You wanted to get educated? Sorry, Matobo, but we chose the wrong ambassador because not only are his fans poor cunts, they're also selfish cunts. Alright, well then, just to get the ball rolling, I'm going to put $10 in now. So there'll be $14.06. So I'm going to put in $10 now. If you want to, I don't know, match me or any bit helps. To be honest, I'm just doing this because I've never done a charity thing before, and they reached out to me, and I did my research, and they're a legitimate charity. They're actually doing some good shit. So if you want to help out, and if you want to boost my fucking public ambassador profile to something that's a little bit less embarrassing, dude, you have a look at let's look at the leaderboards. Let's have a look at how much money I've raised compared to some other people on leaderboards. All right, so who we got here? Number one. Kate Jenkinson. So against my $4.16, she has raised $13,000. Okay, so that's a little bit embarrassing. Although, you know what? Am I ahead of the other ambassadors? Live below the line ambassadors. I swear to God, if I'm the ambassador that's raised the least amount of money, that's so fucking embarrassing. Do you realize, like, that's the shittest look. Like, I'm fine being the least famous ambassador. That's sweet. But the only ambassador to raise less than $10, that's fucking embarrassing. That's really like, oh, okay, I guess Lewis's fans are a pack of cunts. Let's never work with this guy again. They don't want to help the children. All right, so we got the ambassadors. Oh, Kate Jenkinson is an ambassador. She's raised $16,000. So that's how shit you guys are making me look. Who else have we got? Okay, look, I'm not going to put myself up against the legitimate celebrities because that's just not fair, okay? There's the chick who's raised 16 grand, she's on Home and Away or Neighbours or some shit. That's cheating, okay? I'm going to compare how much money I've raised, fuck all, to the other people that are like online people. All right, so what do we have here? We've got Miranda and Mark who run an Instagram account. Okay, here we go. So they run an Instagram account and they do traveling. Okay, so that's fucking horseshit. Nobody actually likes those people. They just like the photo. Surely they haven't raised any money. Let's have a look. Mark and Miranda. $500? Fuck! Okay, that's over 10 times what I've done. That's... Fuck! Dude, you cannot tell me that I am the lowest ambassador. That's embarrassing. I refuse to accept it. I'm going to find another online person, alright? So fuck off, Miranda and Mark. You fucking saints. Who else do we have? Phil Ferguson. What does he do? Phil has been creating crochet hats and posting them on Instagram with an overwhelmingly positive response. Oh, dude, the cunt makes crochet hats? What are you, some kind of fucking... There's a picture of him wearing a crochet burger as a hat. If this cunt has raised more money than me, I'm gonna commit. There's no way that a cunt with a fucking burger as a hat that he knit himself, sitting in his home like a fucking grandma, has raised more money than me. Let's have a look. $20? Fuck! That's 5 times what I've... shit. Dude, that sucks. I've raised $4.16. You guys have seriously fucked me here. I'm looking at a dude wearing a fucking crochet hat that he posts photos of him knitting onto Instagram, and he's raised more fucking money than I have. Holy shit. Alright. Dude, there's gotta be one more. I can't be the lowest. Come on. Alright. Oh, there's fuck all ambassadors too. That's really embarrassing. So people are gonna notice. Alright. There's gotta be one more. Who's like the smallest on social media? This chick. Alright. She's another Instagram girl. Okay, so she's only got a couple thousand followers on Instagram. I don't know why she's a public ambassador, but let's see how much she's raised. $5.20. That's still more than me. Fuck. Dude, this sucks. You guys I can't even blame you. You know what it is? It's my fault. I have not cultivated a caring audience, have I? Right? Every week I come on here and I laugh about people dying. A couple podcasts ago, I was pissing myself reading out an article about a dude who got in a bulldozer and demolished a whole town and then shot himself in the head. It's like the people I attract doing that kind of shit, right? They're not very likely to see a charity and be like, we'll chuck them a couple dollars, will we? You fucking... Okay, no, but seriously, guys, Okay, you know what? I'm going to cheat here. Okay, if I put $10 of my own money in here, that puts me up to 15, and then I'm the second last. I'm the second shittest ambassador. All right, guys, at least get me to $50, all right? Google Lewis Spears, live below the line. Can we just get me to a less embarrassing amount? I'm not making any money off this. It's for the kids. To be honest, if I'm being truthful, I don't really care that much about the charity. I just don't want to be the guy who raised the least amount of money. No, but seriously, it is a good cause. Google Lewis Spears, live below the line. Any bit of help you can put on my profile would be great, because this is fucking embarrassing, all right? Okay. Oh, man. Let's get into the miscellaneous bit at the end, and then we can all wrap this shit up, and I can go and think about what I've fucking done, all right? How I've failed this charity. All right, first email. Hey, Lewis. My name's Sam. So, on the subject line of this one is, my brother ruined my life. How do I get revenge? Okay, here we go. Hey, Lewis, my name's Sam. So, basically, I left my room in a hurry, and I accidentally left my phone unlocked. And because my brother is a cunt, he went on it and read all my messages with people talking about buying weed and other shit. He then told my parents about it, and I got into a lot of trouble. Keep in mind, I'm only 16, so I'm heavily fucked. I'm grounded for 3 months, and they took my phone. Fucking hell, mate. How are you sending this email? Computer, I guess. 3 months, dude, for weed. That's crazy. That's what you get in jail. So I need help with ways to fuck over my brother even more. He's 18. I know his Facebook password, so I was thinking I could fuck up his relationship with his girlfriend, but I don't know. Another option is showing him miscellaneous bit at the end, but I'm not sure giving him cancer is the right way to go about it. That's a bit far. Good job on the tour. I went to your Perth show and it was sick. Have a shit one. Thank you very much, Sam. All right, so I'm glad you've got his password. This is perfect. I've done this to my brother and a lot of my friends. And I tell you something, it's fucking horrible, but it's hilarious. And anybody who has a password or access to their friend's account, this is a great way to really fuck with their life for a long time, and they won't even realize that you've done it until a couple weeks later, right? So, get on someone's Facebook account. This is like deep level trolling that I've never told anybody about because it's just not funny enough to put in a video, but is hilarious to do to your friends, all right? So, what you do is you get your mate's or your brother's Facebook account, log in, and what you want to do is you want to like all of the religious Facebook pages from any religion, right? Start with Muslim and then work your way down to Catholic, okay? Like fucking all of them. Just go in and search God, search Allah, search Islam, anything, and like every single fucking page and turn on see first. So that way, whenever they post, they'll see that post first. Go through, and if you have their phone for about 10 minutes, you can like easy 50 to 100 pages if you're quick with the typing, right? Just like them all. And then, just give them back the phone. Don't even let them know you took it. Or, if you reckon you're going to get caught with their phone, do a status, just post I'm gay, and let them think that's the only thing you've done, alright? And then, about 2 weeks later, they're going to be like, why the fuck am I seeing so many posts about Allah, about Jesus, about how I shouldn't have sex before marriage, about, fucking clickbait about the 57 Hindu gods? Why am I seeing all this shit on my Facebook? And they're going to have to go through and manually unlike all of those pages as they see them on their Facebook page. And if you do that with 50 to 100 pages, that fuckery lasts for about 3 months until they figure out they need to go through and unlike all of those pages. So that's how I would get him back, and that's a great way to completely ruin your mate's Facebook account for a very long time. So enjoy that, mate. All right, so now it's time for the second question. Got one from a lovely fucking girl. Hey, Lewis, you can call me Sarah. I'm just going to jump right into it. This is sort of long, but I wanted you to help me, so I thought I should be detailed. I know you wanted me to be upfront in this. What the fuck is this written? Sarah, can you spell? Oh, yes, you can. Sorry, I'm just an idiot, everyone. Just to clarify, there's nothing wrong with Sarah's email. I'm just a little bit fucking stupid. For context, I'm 18 and on a gap year. Oh, living it up, sucking some cock, going to the beach. This guy I'm going to talk about is 19. You can call him Greg. Alrighty, Greg. Greg was in the year above me in high school, but I never really talked to him, even though I always found him super attractive and just my type. Tall, smart, and artistic. The amount of times people write autistic in emails, I almost fucked that word up. A lot of girls thought he was hot, and he dated a lot of girls in my year and his year. I sort of watched him from afar without him noticing me. So you're just waiting until he... You're just waiting for him to fuck his way down to you, basically. So you're like you're waiting down the hallway, just slowly watching him bend over your mates until he gets down to you. You're standing there, you're holding like a Gatorade. You're like, come on, Greg, fuck my mates, Greg, until you get to me, and then we can give it a go, right? And he gets to you, you replace his headband with a fresh one that's not sweaty. You give him a Gatorade, he downs it, and he's like, all right, I was here to fuck girls and drink Gatorade, and I'm all out of Gatorade. Fuck me, Greg. Okay. Then last year, when he graduated and went off to work, I lost a shit ton of weight because I started dieting and working out so I would perform better in the HSC. Well done, Sarah. A lot of different boys started paying attention to me, but I wasn't interested. I still thought about Greg from time to time, and then one night at a party, we met, and he started talking to me. Oh my God, Greg made it through the fuck hallway, and he's come to me finally. Fuck me, Greg. At that time, he was in a relationship with a girl. Ah, damn. We can call her Mandy because she comes back in later. Anyway, we became friends and started talking regularly while I developed a small crush because he was even smarter and cooler than I thought originally. Whoa! You wear sunglasses inside? That's so cool! Oh my God! You know calculus? Fuck me, Greg. So basically, old mate Greg has been keeping you in reserve. So he's got a girlfriend, but he's like, you know what? If this fucks up, I'm going to root Sarah. So he's keeping you in reserves in his back pocket. So Greg is probably a great fuck, but a terrible boyfriend. Let's see if Sarah can get in his pants. Jump forward to December last year. Last year? Dude, how long does this story go for? Are you going to end up married to Greg? Mandy breaks up with him. I don't know the details of why, but he's super emotionally damaged from this. Oh, so dreamy. Maybe I could fix him. And just after they break up, he texts me and comes round. Yep, so you were in the fucking reserves. He was like, oh, I'm so emotionally damaged from breaking up with my girlfriend Mandy. Maybe it's time to fuck Sarah. I think he might be playing everybody in this situation. I think Greg might be a little bit of a as the kids say, a bit of a fuck boy. He texts me and comes around to my house, and I end up losing my virginity with him in a sort of comfort fuck, if that makes sense. It wasn't that makes sense. I broke up with my girlfriend. I'm going to have sex with another girl to make myself feel better and fuck with the other girl's feelings. That's what he's done. All right. I thought that this would be the one time because I can feel myself already starting to fall for him really badly, but we commenced a sort of friends with benefit type of relationship where we fuck and then hang out as friends, even though I'm low-key falling in love with him. Look out, Greg. Then at the start of last month, him and Mandy get back together. I was so shocked and upset and sad that we wouldn't keep fucking. Oh, old mate Greg's got a 9-incher. But then he says he doesn't really care about her because the reason they broke up in the first place was because she cheated on him. And he wants to keep fucking me on the down low. So we do, even though I feel bad for Mandy. So yeah, we're still fucking while he's dating Mandy. Yeah, look, he's using you. He's using both of you. So, I wouldn't even fucking believe that she cheated on him, Sarah. I reckon he's just playing the game. This guy sounds like an absolute player. He knows what he's doing, right? He had sex with all of your friends. He waited for you to lose weight. And then he came for you after he left his girlfriend the week after. And then he has sex with you heaps. And then he's like, you know, it would be great having 2 girlfriends. So he goes back to his other girlfriend, has sex with her while he was also having sex with you. And then he's like, oh, I don't really care about her. I care about you. Yeah, he's fucking playing with your mind, Sarah. You don't need this cunt in your life. That pretty much brings you up to speed. You have to understand, Lewis, that my main dilemma centers around this. I'm seriously, insanely in love with this boy. Like, so badly that I don't care if I have to home wreck him and Mandy just to have him for myself. It hurts so bad that he doesn't know how I feel and I don't know what to do. Do I tell him I love him and I hope he'll choose me? Or do I leave even though I'm pretty sure it will ruin me emotionally? Please help. Thanks, Lewis. I love your work. From Sarah. All right, Sarah, look. If you really want to find out his true intentions, I would tell him that you love him. Because you know what he's going to do? He's going to go, oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, what have I done? She loves me. Oh, I'm not ready for this level of commitment. Oh, no. And then he'll break up with you and keep fucking his girlfriend until he cheats on her. Dude, you've fallen for a bad human, Sarah. I don't know what to tell you. He's not a nice person. He sounds like he's fucked all of your mates. I mean, he's having a great time. If he was sending me this email, I'd be like, woo! Go for it. Fucking killing it. Absolutely, bro. Keep fucking all those girls. You're living up the dream. Find a nice girl later. Woo! Go you. You're a fucking awesome dude. Live it up, bro. But because you're emailing me, I'm going to tell you the other side of that situation, which is you're just going to get hurt, and so is his other girlfriend that he's cheating on, right? Do you really want a guy who's cheating on his girlfriend to be with you, and he's not saying that he loves you, right? He's just enjoying having sex with you. So clearly he does not want to be your boyfriend. He just wants to fuck you ever since you started going to gym and he started to look a little bit hot, right? He's using you, Sarah. Fuck this guy. It's not worth it. If you really want to get your feelings hurt, I'd tell him that you love him, and then he's gonna run away. But yeah, if you want my advice, I would just get the fuck out of there and find somebody else. You don't need an asshole like that. He's using you. He's using his girlfriend, and I guarantee you, even if he got with you, he'd probably cheat on you later, right? He's just that kind of person. From the sounds of your email, I don't know the guy, but I know the type. And he's living it up right now. And you are not going to be able to tie this guy down. And I know that makes you go, oh, he's such a wild, free spirit. He's like a stallion. Maybe I could be the one girl who could tame him. And I could put a saddle on him and put on a white dress and ride him into the sunset. And I could introduce him to my father and they'll get along. No, it's not how that's going to happen. You're just going to get your feelings hurt. So yeah, Sarah, I would get out of there. You don't need that in your life. Sounds like you're a smart girl. Sounds like you're a nice chick. And obviously you must be pretty if this guy is fucking decided to come down to your level and use you now that you've lost weight. So fuck that guy. Find somebody who actually wants to be with you, or just be single. Figure out a way to be happy on your own. You're so young. You don't need a boyfriend. You're just going to get hurt. That's my advice. But I would love an update, Sarah. Please do email me again when there's an update or something else happens. I would love to fucking hear about it, and I'll read it on the podcast. Unless you don't want me to, it could be in our little secret. All right? That's the end of the podcast, guys. Thanks very much for listening. If you would like to hear all episodes early, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. This podcast is quite expensive to run because all of you guys downloading it means the website is like, oh, all of these people are using our data. We're going to charge you for that instead of upgrading our systems. And I've looked into making it cheaper, but there really is no way to do it unless I delete all of the old episodes, which I really just don't want to do. So right now I'm fronting that cost, and I'm using Patreon to pay for it. So if you'd like to help me pay for that, you can support me on Patreon. It's basically like Kickstarter, but fucking, $2 a month or whatever you can afford a month. And there's rewards like early videos. I don't know. Fucking Google Patreon Lewis Spears. You fucking know what it's about. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Give me a 5-star rating on iTunes, and I will see you next Sunday. Until then, have a very, very shit one.